Hi, and welcome back to MyExcelOnline.com. We are going to start a series on Excel dashboards. So for our introductory lesson today, we are going to show you an example of an Excel dashboard, why you would want to use an Excel dashboard, and how to build a very simple Excel dashboard to help you get started. This is an example of an Excel dashboard. On the screen are several different boxes showing pertinent information that any manager or high-level user would want to see from the data in your Excel spreadsheet. So this dashboard at the top has a date range for the data that we are displaying. We are going to show the total units sold during this period, the total sales for this period, the total profit for this period, who the top salesman was, and the best sales day so far this period. So this is just a quick way to see all those metrics and to be able to give a high-level view of what the actual data sheet looks like. So let's spend some time looking at the source of all this data. I'm going to go down here and click on the tab for all sales. On this tab, I have a table starting in column B that tells me my sales by date, who the salesman was, the state that the sales were made in, the amount of units sold, the dollars earned, the cost, and the overall profit. Starting in column J, I have two pivot tables. One is summing data by date. The second is summing data by salesperson. And over here in column P, I am using an XLOOKUP function to calculate the top salesman and the top day of sales based on my pivot tables. I want to show you that this dashboard here will change based on the data that I am changing inside of my table. So right now, my total units sold is 17,115. My top salesman is Dwight, and my best sales day is 7/2. But I would like to change this. I'm going to click on the All Sales tab again, go to the bottom of my data set, and type in 710. And I'm going to make Jim the salesman of that day. And let's say he had a big sale in Connecticut for 10,000 units, where he made $75,000 in sales. I'm going to right-click on my pivot table and hit refresh. And now look at all the data on this sheet that has changed. 710 has been added, and Jim's sales have gone up. And if I look over here in column P, Jim is my top salesman, and my top day of sales is now July 10th, 2021. So if I go back to my dashboard, I will see that my total units have gone up by 10,000. My top salesman is Jim. My best sales day is 710. And this has all automatically happened. Even the date range has changed at the top to be 710 instead of 79 like it was before. So let's create this dashboard piece by piece. The first thing we need to do is click on this button here to create a new tab. So I'm going to create a new sheet, and then I'm going to double click on the name, and I'm going to call this dashboard and hit enter. I'm going to go back to my dashboard complete. The first part of my dashboard that I would like to create is this date range up here. Dates from 7/1 to 7/10. So I'm going to click back on the dashboard that I'm creating. And I do not have my formula bar showing because I want my dashboard to look really nice and neat at the end. But while we're creating it, I would like to go up to View and check this box for formula bar because we are going to need to use it. We can also pin the ribbon because we will be using a lot on the ribbon as well. So click in a cell where you would like to put the date range. I'm going to click in G4 and say dates from, and then in column H, I'm going to type equals, and I'm going to type the word min with a left parenthesis because I want the minimum date in my date range. I'm going to click back on all sales and just highlight column B and hit enter. I'm going to type in 2 in column I, and in column J, I'm going to say equals max with a left parenthesis and go back to all sales, highlight column B again, and hit enter. If you get a number instead of a date, you can highlight those numbers and go to the home ribbon and just select a different format right here because it defaults to general format, but we want that to be a short date. So now I have my dates set up. Let's go back to the completed dashboard. The next element I have on my dashboard is total units sold this period. So go back to the dashboard that we're creating and go up to Insert. Go to Illustrations and go to Shapes. You can pick whatever shape you want here for your dashboard. I just picked the rectangle with the rounded corners. And now I'm going to draw that shape and let the mouse button go. And within that shape, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to type equals go to all sales. So I'm going to type cell E2 because that's the sum of my total sales, and I'm going to hit enter. And I can see the 21,115 is being displayed here. I'm going to go to the font and make it white. I'm also going to center it. I'm also going to justify it to the bottom. And I would like to change the size of this font to a 24 so that it's bigger and easier to read. Now I don't have a label for the shape that I have created, but if I go back to my all sales and I change one of my sales right here to a 0, 26,115 is the new number. If I go back to my new dashboard, 26,115. So this is working correctly. So I'm just going to go back to my all sales and hit Control Z and undo it so that my data set returns to the way that it was. And let's go back to my dashboard. And again, you can see it's 27,115. So if I would like to put a label on this, I can go up to Insert, Text, and a text box. I'm going to draw a text box inside of here. And I'm going to say total units sold this period. Now that doesn't look very good. I would like to center that. I would like to change the color of the fill. And then I would like to click on my main shape and change the color of that fill. I would like to make this a little bit bigger and change the font size to about a 16. And there you go. You have your first dashboard item. If you are liking this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to get notifications of our new weekly Excel tips. So let's look at what the next dashboard item is. In this case, it's total sales this period. So if I go back to my dashboard, I can select the rectangle I created. If I hold down Control, I can also select the label that I put on there. And if I hit Control C on my keyboard and then Control V, I get an exact copy of this dashboard item and just change a few of the properties. Instead of total units sold this period, how about, let's go back and see what our completed dashboard looks like. How about total sales this period? So let's go back here and change this to sales and highlight the rectangle shape that we selected earlier. If I look up here, I will see that this is coming from cell E2. I'm going to highlight all sales E2 and go back to the all sales tab. And if I look here, my sales number is in cell F2, so I'm just going to click on that and hit enter. One problem in Excel is all the formatting goes away once you put a formula up in here for the shape. So select the shape again and go up to the font color. You might want to make the font size go down to about a 22. So now total sales this period, let's see, is that correct? 246,150? Yes, it is. So now, once again, you can highlight the shape and then the text box that is inside. Hit Control C on your keyboard to copy and then Control V to paste. And you can move this set over to the right. So this one is going to be total profit this period. And once again, I want to click on the shape and look up at this formula right here. Highlight that, hit equals, go back to all sales, and click on H2 because that's where my total profit is, and hit enter. And once again, click the shape, change the font color, change the font size. Now, if we click on this shape, this label, and hit Control C, Control V, drag it down to here, and you could type in best salesperson, click on the shape, equals, go back to all sales, where the best salesman is, hit enter, change the font color and the font size. And then finally, you can do best sales day, copy, paste, move over to the right, and here you can type best sales day, select the shape again, hit equals, go back to your all sales tab, and click in the cell that's calculating the best sales day, and hit enter. Again, select your shape, change the font color, change the font size. So a couple things, maybe you want the date to be a little bit bigger here. You can change that size to maybe a 12. You can make it bold. If you want the date from to have a little bit more space so it's more evenly spread out, just click on G4 and go up here and type in a few spaces and hit enter. If that doesn't look centered enough to you, you can highlight G through J, hit Control X, and move it over one cell. But then you will have to make these cells a little bit wider. And you can make these shapes a little bit wider too, if you would like to center them all. So now at this point, you're just reformatting your screen to get it the way that you would like it to look. So the final step on here is to go up to View, and you can turn off the formula bar to give you more space. You can turn off the grid lines so that they're not showing up on the screen, and you can also turn off the headings to make it look a little more professional. If you would like to click the up arrow, you will not even see the ribbon, and this is looking very, very similar to the initial dashboard that we had created. The only difference is slight formatting that you can go back and do to make this look the way that you would like it to look. So in summary, we went over what a dashboard is, why you would want to create a dashboard, and how to create a simple dashboard using Microsoft Excel. Hopefully you've learned something new about Microsoft Excel dashboards. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and we'll get back to you. We are going to keep expanding this concept for a few more weeks, so please tune in next time to see our next dashboard video.
If you like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you're really serious about advancing your Microsoft Excel skills so you can stand out from the crowd and get the jobs, promotions, and pay rises that you deserve, then click up here and join our Academy online course today.